Robben Island, once a place of exile and punishment, became one of the most powerful symbols of South Africa's fight for freedom. For decades, it held political prisoners who dared to stand against apartheid, including some of the most influential leaders in our local history. Now, this past Saturday, the Robben Island Museum in South Africa unveiled a life-sized statue of the late Namibian liberation icon Andimba Toivoya Toivo at the historic Robben Island prison, where he spent 16 years of his life in the fight for Namibia's freedom. The ceremony was marked by the reunion of former political prisoners and was attended by a Namibian delegation led by the Minister of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts and Culture, that is Sanet Steenkamp. Today, we are honored to be joined by someone who lived through that experience, a former prisoner of Robben Island, Martin Kapewasha, who will share his personal journey of struggle, strength and survival. Good morning, sir, and thank you very much for being here this morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Kapewasha, please take us back to the days of the liberation struggle that led you ending up at the Robben Island.
It started very much early. I was a student at Ongwediva Training College in the early 70s. To be exact, 1970. And I was expelled from school because of my political involvement in the struggle. So we boycotted classes, and after a time, I was not readmitted because the principal found out that I was one of the ringleaders of the group. From there, I moved down south. I came to look for work in
Where exactly?
Walvis Bay.
Okay, Walvis Bay.
I first started working in Walvis Bay. There was a factory that was making cans for fishing factories. I used to work for that factory. It was called Metal Box. It was now in 1970 until 1971. Then I moved back home to the north, but the situation was not good. Then because I could not be admitted at school anymore, so I said, no, I just go and look for work. Then I came to Windhoek in 1971, and then started working for a certain company, exploring my minerals. We were the founders of these mines like Oshihase, Navahab. It was a company that found those mines. The others were doing samples, and after that, the mine was opened. And in 1973, because the political situation was now getting hot,
Okay.
after Waldheim, there was a United Nations Secretary General, Kurt Waldheim, who visited Namibia in 1972. And we had to protest against the apartheid regime. In 1973, we held a SWAPO Party Youth League meeting in Katutura here in Windhoek. By then, SWAPO was banned not to hold any meetings. That meeting led to our arrest. It was now myself, Jerry Kanjo, and Jacob Hidima, together with many others. But the three of us were now singled out that we incited the people to take up arms, to flee the country, and to destroy the government properties. So we were charged under the Sabotage Act, and we were sentenced to 8 years imprisonment, each of us.
On Robben
that
Island.
we served on Robben Island in 1973.
Did you serve all the 8 years?
We served all those 8 years.
What was it like?
The situation in prison is not really a picnic place. It's a terrible place. Situation coming from food to health and any other conditions. It was terrible. It was not really good. However, because of our determination and commitment to the struggle, I endured that situation until 1981, when I was released.
When we speak about the Robben Island, it's also very significant, as you've mentioned, the other two liberation struggle stalwarts that were incarcerated alongside you. We also have the likes of the late Andimba Toivoya Toivo. Were you there during his time?
Completely. Yeah, we found Comrade Andimba Toivo there. Andimba Toivo was one of the first Namibian political prisoner to be sent to Robben Island.
Yes.
Together with, maybe you hear about Tualedeni Kahumba Kandola, Helao Chichuete, Caleb Shipahura, and many others. So Andimba, as a leader of SWAPO, was approached by SWAPO freedom fighters who came from abroad, who went for military training under the leadership or command of Johnny Yaoto Nankudo. They were sent to conduct Andimba Toivo at home, and they conducted him and discussed all the issues, and they put up a military training camp at Ongurumbashi. Maybe you hear about Ongurumbashi.
Yes.
So they set up that camp. It was done through Andimba Toivo as a leader. And then when the colonial forces heard about this, they attacked the camp on the 26th of August, 1966. It was now the start of the liberation struggle, when the first bullet was fired in Namibia for the liberation of Namibia. So most of the comrades were arrested there at the camp, and some fled. Mostly those who came from outside fled because they were trained, they could flee. But the other elderly people who came there for training, like Njaula, Shaningwa, Sinimanilenge, they were elderly men.
Yeah.
So they were arrested on the spot, and many others. So they were taken to Pretoria, and the rest were also arrested. Toivo was also arrested in the process. Taken to Pretoria in 1966, 1970, since 1967, the trial started. And it was the first people also, Namibians were the first people to be tried under Terrorism Act. That act was promulgated in 1967, just specifically for Namibians to be tried. And it's now at that trial that Comrade Andimba Toivo told the judge that we are Namibians and doesn't recognize them trying Namibians in South Africa. So his speech is well known in that regard.
Yes.
And he mentioned that the struggle will be long and bitter. So we as young people by then captured that slogan.
Was it inspirational?
It was very much inspirational, kept it in our brain, and we followed his footsteps until that time that we also joined them on Robben Island.
Yeah. Now, you were back at Robben Island this past weekend for the reunion, as well as the unveiling of some statues, including that of the late Andimba Toivoya Toivo. What was that moment like, stepping back onto the island?
No, I could say that it was really a historic occasion. And we, as Namibian former political prisoners on Robben Island, also appreciated what our Ministry of Education has done and the government of Namibia to accord us that occasion to go to the reunion, to meet with our colleagues from South Africa, because most of them, we didn't meet for quite long.
Okay.
Yeah, the first reunion was done in 1995. Yeah, just 1 year after South Africa
gained independence,
freedom.
yes.
So, and this was not the second. So I get to say that it was a real occasion, a historic occasion, and it was also heart-moving because many of the colleagues shed tears to meet each other after that long moment. And we discussed a lot of things that we have to focus in the future, because we said we have paved the way, we have liberated our countries now, we are free, our young generation should really follow our footsteps and good example.
Yeah. What does this recognition and invitation from South Africa symbolize to you? And not just that, the unveiling of the statue of Yatoivo.
There was that really other very important milestone in our history, the unveiling of a statue like of Comrade Andibatobe Yatoivo,
Yeah.
which was unveiled on Saturday on Robben Island, together with Nelson Mandela and many others.
Yes.
So it is really a great honor to Namibia and to the people of our country that Comrade Andibatobe Yatoivo was recognized by the South African government also to be one of those who fought against apartheid and who stood firm. That honor is really a great issue for us.
I'm sure there were lessons taken from the Robben Island during the 8 years that you served there, that you have applied throughout your life. So what are some of those, especially when it comes to leadership and resilience? You spoke about inspiration that you took from Yatoivo and the likes. So explain that to us, please.
Yeah, well, you see, we used to joke that Robben Island was like a university.
Okay.
So I went there very young, at the age of 24, and I learned a lot through that process. You know that a young person of 24 years old is very energetic,
Yes.
want to do everything. I never felt that I was in prison. Sometimes I even forgot. You have to say that I want to learn from the seniors. How did they endure to stay that long? Because we found them rare I went in 1974, and they had been there already about 8 years by then. So we said, if you have been already 8 years here, and I'm also going for 8 years, then that's nothing. I will be able to make it.
It gave you motivation to keep going.
Very motivational.
Yeah.
So, okay, Comrade Andibatobe Yatoivo and the Mandela, them were put in a section which was a single cells. We were not allowed to meet with them.
So you've not interacted with them at all?
We didn't interact with them, most of them, unless there's something that we had to ask, that we want to see Yatoivo. The rest of the Namibian group was also separated from the South African group. We had our section called D section. It's a famous section. If you happen to visit Robben Island, go to D section, you'll find our names there. So we were kept there. The South Africans were kept in another section, E sections, because South Africans were also many. And by then, when we came there, I think we were only in the region of 40-something Namibians. But our number also swelled up to 60 plus. So it was really kind of a training center for us.
Yeah.
And we also learned a lot from these seniors, telling us that after release, don't go and sit down at home, continue with the struggle. And that's what we did. Until
independence
we
was
liberated
achieved.
our country.
Yeah. Very well. Now, for the sake of preservation of history and for the generations that are yet to come, what is that one thing that Namibians should never forget about that era, especially the era where individuals like yourselves had to serve time in prison at Robben Island?
Yeah, no, this is another issue that you really have taught us a lesson. And I'm really calling on Namibians not to forget about that chapter. See, Namibia was colonized by apartheid South Africa, a country which was also ruled by the international community, that it is illegal in Namibia. The United Nations in 1971 passed a resolution that South Africa is illegal in Namibia and they should withdraw. But the apartheid system insisted to remain in Namibia until the struggle intensified. You might have heard now the exodus of many Namibians that went through Angola, Zambia, and then they went to take up arms to join those who were there already under the leadership of Comrade Simon Yoma. May his soul rest in peace. So They went to join the liberation struggle and fought. The apartheid system didn't want to leave Namibia if we didn't take up arms to fight it. And the pressure from the international community. That is really a very important part of our history that our people should not forget about that.
Yeah. And what lessons do you believe that today's generation of Namibians can learn from the sacrifices made by the many Namibians who partook in the fight for freedom of this country?
Now, I just would like really to urge our young generation to follow good examples of the Atoivos, the Kahumbas, and our generation. You see, Namibia has got generations that follow the footsteps. There was a generation of our forefathers, the Mandumes, the Mahareros, Vetibos.
Yes.
And the only generation that answered to this call was the generation of Nuyoma and the Atoivos, Mereros, and others, who really said, we are going to fight for this country. So, and I'm also now urging our young people to follow that good example, not to take up arms, but to fight for justice, equal rights in the country, and then also to move that Namibia develop to become an industrial country. They have also to take up their studies serious, work hard so that our people could live in peace. And we have also to maintain this peace that we're enjoying today. Because it's very rare to find a country developing without peace. If there's no peace, there won't be any development. You might have heard of those countries that are at war. People are running around and there's no education for their children. So I'm really calling our young people to be responsible and to hear what their leaders are telling them.
Yeah. Basically, the fight for economic emancipation continues.
That is the main issue now, that's the main struggle also. Economic emancipation is in the hands of the young people now, that they have to follow the good steps so that our people should also share the cake of the land.
Yeah. Mr. Kapewasha, your final remarks before we let you go?
It's just to say that thank you very much for inviting me, and I would really like to say that Namibia is in good hands, and we should also then just follow the legal procedures when we want to do things. People should not do things haphazard. They should follow what the government has put for them. We have got a multi-party system in Namibia, and Namibia is a democratic country. So everybody has got an opportunity to stand up and say something. We in SWAPO have got a respect for every Namibian citizen. That's why we have said Namibia belongs to all the Namibians, irrespective of their political affiliations or religious beliefs or any other issues. So I urge young people to follow this good example.
Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your contribution to the freedom we enjoy today.
I thank you very much for that.
All right.